that long road to maturity, we'll be there.
And now, coverage you can count on from Color 10 News, Springfield, Missouri.
A bunker buster bomb hits a residential area in Baghdad. The U.S. military says it was targeting a restaurant where Saddam Hussein and his sons were said to be meeting. We'll have the latest on that attack and an attack on a hotel where journalists were staying. That's in a live report from the Persian Gulf.
Good afternoon. I'm Kyla Koppelman and welcome to Color 10 News at Noon. Coming up on today's segment, an abduction case draws national attention in Richmond, Virginia because it is 8 years in the making. And we also have Anson Aldridge, who is on the scene, reporting an exciting news update from SMS. But now, let's check in with Terry Okita, who's reporting live from the war front. Terry?
It's been a day of heavy air and tank assaults by U.S. forces, but one airstrike in particular targeted the Iraqi president in an upscale Baghdad neighborhood. And now the question is Saddam Hussein dead or alive? U.S. intelligence doesn't know yet if Saddam Hussein is buried beneath this rubble, but people in this residential neighborhood say several families were wiped out by 4 2,000-pound bombs.
We can only be reminded that the risk increases for the population as we do these operations, but we have to remain focused on our objective of removing this regime.
Acting on a tip, the U.S. Air Force targeted a restaurant where they believe Saddam Hussein and his 2 sons were meeting.
We did target the Iraqi leadership area and will continue to do so.
In a different part of Baghdad, Iraqi forces staged a counterattack against coalition troops. U.S. warplanes and tanks responded. At least 50 Iraqis were reportedly killed. 3 journalists are also among the casualties. 2 photographers were killed and several others injured when a U.S. tank fired 1 round at a hotel housing members of the Western media.
We don't target journalists, and all who are not part of the regime should be aware that the regime uses places like the Palestine Hotel for other regime purposes.
In a separate incident, a journalist for the Arab network Al Jazeera was killed when his office was hit in Baghdad. A U.S. official says the Pentagon is confident Saddam and his sons were in the restaurant before that airstrike, but U.S. Central Command says it may take several days and detailed forensic work to confirm they were killed.
More information on the search for Saddam Hussein can be seen tonight at 6. The 2-day trial of Mary Fritz begins today in Richmond, Virginia. Fritz is being tried on an abduction charges since it took her 8 years to return her daughter to her ex-husband. Fritz and daughter Emily disappeared in August 1994 and returned home last May. We will have updates on the trial later this evening. Now let's see what Anson Aldridge has found on the SMS campus. Anson?
Anson Aldridge reporting in front of Strong Hall, where we have reports of something big is going to happen. That's right, something big, something enormous. It's going to be earth-shattering, a big change. I have an onlooker here that I'm hoping to get an interview from. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi, may I have your name?
Randy.
Randy. There's reports of something big that is going to happen here in front of Strong Hall. Do you have any idea what that could be?
My Aunt Edna's having her back hair removed.
I see. Well, that doesn't seem to be a big thing to... Okay, Kyla, I'm going to cut it back to you. I got to get rid of this Randy fellow.
2 famous hillbilly cousins are finally caught, and it looks like another April shower. These stories and more when Color 10 News at Noon returns.
You wait right here, Mark, and I'll get Diane. Diane!
Cheese it. Get your own box.
Welcome back to Color 10 News at Noon. I'm Kyla Koppelman. We will now take a look at a local story that occurred recently down in the holler outside the city limits of Springfield. Bo and Luke Duke were arrested yesterday on charges of careless and imprudent driving. Violence erupted as the 2 were finally put to justice when authorities busted out the windows and a few tires on their new car. Neighbors could not believe the accusation. They say they are just some good old boys, never meaning no harm. The two were taken down to the station for further questioning. Will Daisy be their one phone call? Back in with Anson on the SMS campus and see if anything big has happened. Anson?
Well, Kyla, I'm still out here in front of a Strong Hall waiting for that big thing to happen. The winds are kicking up. I'm getting a little bit paranoid of what this might be. I don't know. I'll keep you updated if this big thing does occur. For right now, this is Anson Aldridge reporting.
All right, we'll check back with you in a few minutes, Anson. Are we lucky enough to get some sunshine soon? Let's check in with Andrew Aldridge at the Weather Center.
Thanks, Sweetie Buns. It seems we have a low pressure system moving and following a cold front, which seems to mean scattered showers for us here in the Ozarks. This front will continue to push northeastward, and we should see clear skies by the weekend. Now on to the temperatures. Temperatures for this weekend also prove that we will soon be seeing warmer, sunnier days. It looks like Saturday will see us with a high of 55 and 54 in Kansas City and 55 in St. Louis. Just be glad we don't live on the coast. It looks like nothing but cold, windy days. This has been Chief Meteorologist Andrew Aldridge with your weather for Color Tenant News. Back to you, babe.
I'm sure glad it's going to warm up. Thanks, Andrew. Pigs must be flying in Kansas City because the Royals hold a 6-0 record. When the Royals last had a winning April, I was 6 years old. George Brett, Frank White, and Willie Wilson were in the opening lineup, and the year was 1989. Could 2003 be a year to remember? Now let's go back to Anson and see if he's found anything about the big news. Anson?
All right, Kyla, I'm back again where apparently I've been informed that the big thing that I was waiting to happen was a misunderstanding altogether. It is not, in fact, a big thing that is going to happen, but it turns out that it's a pig thing that's going to happen. That's right, a pig thing. All right, Kyla. Well, that's it from out here in front of Strong Hall. I'm Anson Aldridge.
A pig thing, very interesting. Anyway, join us tonight when Bob Jones gives an in-depth story on just how those Kansas Dirty Birds could have dominated over Syracuse. This is Kyla Koppelman signing off from Color 10 News at noon. Have a swell day, and don't forget to check in with I Love Lucy following us.